Hey everyone, in today's video we are diving deep into the art of drawing and shading a sphere. I walk you through every step, from basic shapes to advanced shading techniques, so you can create realistic 3D look. Let's get started. Before we even think about the shading, we need to start with clean, simple circle. Take your time here. The circle is the foundation, and if it's uneven, the final sphere won't look right. Use light pencil strokes, as we'll be adding layers on top and can always adjust if needed. Alright, now we've got our circle, let's talk about the local value. Since we are drawing, not painting, I'm focused on local value rather than local color. This means we are starting with the basic tone or shade of the sphere without any lighting effects. Think of it as the sphere's natural shade before light hits it. Begin by filling in flat, even layer across the entire circle. Don't worry about the highlights or shadows yet, just keep it consistent and smooth. Now that we've established the local value, it's time to add some depth with the shadows. Shadow areas are part of the sphere not directly hit by light, so they are naturally darker. Apply a bit more pressure to create a subtle, even layer of shadow on the opposite side from the light source. Remember, every value in the shadowed area should be darker than the lightest part of the sphere to create that 3D look. Let's deepen that shadow a bit with something called the core shadow. This is the darkest part of the sphere, found right where the shadow transitions into the midtone. Adding the core shadow will make your sphere look more grounded and real. Gradually build up the dark tones along the vis line, keeping it smooth and avoiding harsh lines. This is where the sphere really starts to pop. Next, let's add the light source or key light. This is where the light directly hits the sphere, creating the brightest spot known as the highlight. Choose an area where the light will hit most directly and leave that spot almost untouched or very lightly shaded. This highlight adds a lot of depth, giving the impression of solid, shiny surface. Now we need to transition between the highlight and core shadow with a midtone. The midtone acts as a bridge, blending light into dark, making the sphere look smooth and rounded. Shade lightly around the highlight and blend toward the shadow area, making sure the transition is gradual and even. This is the key to realistic sphere. Now here's a trick that will make your drawing look even more realistic. Reflected light. It's a faint light that bounces back onto the sphere from nearby surfaces, and it usually appears right on the edge of the shadow. Add very light layer here to give the shadowed side more depth and dimension. Keep it subtle, as too much can break the illusion. Finally, let's ground the sphere with the cast shadow and add a hint of rim light. The cast shadow is a shadow the sphere casts on the surface it's resting on, and it helps the viewer understand where the sphere is positioned. Start by shading directly under the sphere, making the area closest to the base darkest. For an extra pop, add a rim light, a thin bright line opposite the light source. This tiny detail can really add the last touch of realism. And there you have it, a fully shaded, realistic looking sphere. Starting with a solid circle and gradually building up your values is the key to achieving that 3D effect. Practice these steps and soon you'll be able to shade all kinds of shapes with confidence. Alright, that's it for today's tutorial. If you found this video helpful and want to see more content like this, don't forget to give the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss the future tutorials. I'd also love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy drawing. See you in the next one.